Your race in Skyrim literally did not matter. You could be a drug-addicted cat, a Confederate flag-waving Nord, or a man-god-hating elf, but none of it mattered. Your character always became the all-powerful stealth archer Dovahkiin. But
Lorerim 4.0 changed everything. Your race isn't just a cosmetic choice anymore. It shapes your survival, your build, and your experience. Whether you're looking to tank dragons at level 5 or punch bandits in the nose with 32 unarmed damage, some races clearly outperform others. Here's my full race tier list for Lorerim 4.0. We'll break down the stats, perks, and my reasoning for each race's spot on the tier list, and help you pick a character that won't get bodied by wolves on your way to Riverwood. We'll be working our way up from the bottom, from the races that struggle to survive a bandit encounter, all the way to the ones that feel borderline unfair and can challenge giants at level 1. Let's kick things off with F tier, where good intentions go to die. Imperials. I'd say the only real thing going for the Imperials is that they can theoretically start the game with a 40% boost to prices at merchants via their 25 skill and speech if you make it your major stat. They're also a decent all-rounder with solid 10s in heavy armor, restoration, destruction, block, and one-handed, and all their base stats regen faster. And if you fancy companions, they buff their companion stats all up by 25. I could see this being a really cool concept for like a bard or a paladin based build, but I think it ranks at the bottom for me still.
But you know what's not F tier? Xmod, today's sponsor for this video. Xmod is a free modding platform that gives you instant access to custom trainers for over 5,000 PC games, including Skyrim Special Edition. That means God mode, carry weight buffs, perk point cheats, skill boosts, all without touching the console or breaking your game. Perfect for testing out new builds, speedrunning the early game, or surviving those Lorerim moments where you get one shot before you even unsheath your sword. And it's not just for Skyrim. Xmod supports Cyberpunk 2077, Red Dead Redemption 2, The Witcher 3, Starfield, and way more, with day one trainer support for new releases and constant updates to stay compatible. Just easy access to modifying your favorite games with the click of a button. Download Xmod using my link below and enter code XMODHUB to get 30 days of premium features totally free. Links in the description and pinned comment. Thanks again to Xmod for sponsoring this video. Now let's move up to D tier, where things start to suck slightly less.
D tier. Bosmer. The best thing about Bosmer is starting with a fat 25 in archery and 5 penetration with ranged weapons. This means just like the Breton, you can dump points into it early to become a ranged threat. They also get access to special food bonuses that can stack up with other food buffs. And with the recent loss of command animals, they now are granted a 25% resistance to shock instead. While it's not the most prevalent magic in Skyrim, it is still helpful. However, they are quite squishy still, so try not to get hit. C tier, the unfortunate melee builds. These are dubbed the unfortunate melee builds. These races aren't bad, but they lack any real magical buffs or hyper defensive abilities like the races above them. And in Lorerim 4.0, trying to melee only can be quite the struggle against higher level enemies. Redguard. Redguards have one of the most important stats in Lorerim maxed out, this being stamina. Cost less stamina to sprint, you start with more stamina and stamina regens faster. When paired with a Ring of Rejuvenation found on the Brawler in the Rift and Ratways, you pretty much remove your stamina issues entirely right out the gate. And they are also granted armor penetration with all melee weapons, starting with a 15 in one-handed is great, as well as a 10 in two-handed. Nord. Nords are awesome. They start with a big ol' 15 in two-handed. If you make it your major skill, you can get up to 25. They also get to start with the inherent ability to learn shouts, and those shouts are stronger and can be used more often. And they also have a 50% resistance to frost damage, which is fairly common, but they lack any semblance of magical skill, which like I said in Lorerim is pretty much a necessity. But if you want to hit things hard with a big weapon, they are the best for some fun two-handed gameplay. B tier, the Dunmer. This is my personal favorite race like visually, and their 50% fire damage resistance is awesome, but it's less valuable than raw magic resistance like the Breton and Orcs have. And despite having a 10% buff to strength and duration of conjuration and destruction spells, I have them lower than the Altmer's just straight up 5% buff to all spells. This is an excellent race to play a pure destruction mage, or a one-handed cloak spell build. A tier, Argonian. Argonians used to be my least favorite race to play in Lorerim. But with the changes to claws via traits, I think they're actually one of the better races to play. His skin passive ability to regenerate health faster and to utilize potions better actually make them a formidable frontline, especially when considering their recent buff of 40 extra starting HP. However, I think magic resistance is a little more important to me for a great frontline character, so they end up just below Orsimer and Breton for me. The Altmer. In Lorerim 4.0, the Altmer received, in my opinion, a massive buff, their weakness to magic being reduced from a massive 25% down to 10%. This means you won't just get outright one-shot by every single spell late game. While it still hurts, you are instead granted the largest base mana pool, fast magic regen, and 5% stronger spells. And when paired with the Mage Stone, your spells can end up being 15% stronger, or up to 25% upon mastering a skill. On to S tier. Starting off our S tier, we have the Khajiit. The two beast races got giga buffed in the recent 4.0 update to Claws, mostly due to the two traits that affect unarmed damage. You can get up to crazy amount of damage per swing, even super early in the game. Khajiit in particular is super awesome due to their innate movement speed buff of 10%. When combined with the Steed Stun, you can get 20% total move speed bonus. Perfect for like a bob and weave fisticuffs playstyle. They are also one of the best races at making money due to their starting stats in lockpicking, alchemy, and pickpocketing. Now onto the Breton. Somehow, despite how they look, Bretons actually become one of the tankiest late game characters, or at least have the potential to. When you play a Breton and pair it with the Atronach Stone, you start the game with a 15% magical resistance as well as a whopping 30% chance to absorb all hostile spells. They're also the only race that can start the game with 25 Conjuration, allowing you to unlock 3 Conjuration perks out the gate to be able to start cheesing giants or bandits for easy XP. We go into the Orsimer. The Orcs are going to be one of the best tank style classes. They start with a whopping 160 HP, as well as the racial bonus Bulwark, which grants them an extra 150 armor rating, and magic deals 15% less damage to you, which is the same as Breton's resistance. This is why I have the Orsimer ranked as the #1 race to play in Lorerim 4.0. And that's my tier list. I tried to provide each race with both their upsides and downsides. In the end, if I had to suggest a single race to play, it would be the Orsimer. They make Lorerim a lot less punishing than it normally is. If you start at an Orcish stronghold, you start with excellent armor, high stats, and you can start taking on bandits even at level 1. And then for my mage friends, Breton are an excellent start as well. They can be used for any type of mage build, but are most suited for Spellblade and Conjuration based builds. If you go King of Worms and Jack of all spells, you can start the game with multiple summons that are strong from level 1. If you want to listen to me go way more in depth on that playstyle, check out this guide here.
I'll lay down my lute by the flagon so wide, and hum a tune warm as the embers inside. So here's to the roads and the inns far and near, to laughter and echoes and flagons of cheer. Though the song ends tonight, let the feeling remain, like the last drop of mead, sweet and soft as the rain.